Taxation is one of the things that we all must deal with, including business owners, and there could be a lot of work and cause us headaches. And as we are moving to digital economy, lots of countries now made that taxation easier by going digital with the E-Tec invoice system. How does the E-Tec invoice could help companies manage that taxation better? And what are the benefits to the economy? Let's talk to our guest today. Please welcome คุณชูศักดิ์ หนุเจริญกุล CEO of Ginkgo Solve, the leading provider of E-Tec Invoice and Enterprise Content Management. สวัสดีครับคุณชูศักดิ์
สวัสดีครับ Thank you for everyone. Thank you everyone for joining
into our program. First of all, let me ask you, as we entering the age of digital economy, how does this affect the tax compliance in Thailand?
Of course, in a good way. I have to go back a little bit and tell a little bit about the beginning of this story. In Thailand, we have a sustainable development goal. What is sustainable development goal? The concept of sustainable development goal described by United Nations in 1987. At its heart are the 17 development goals, which are called urgent call for every country to take action. Sustainable is the development that meets the need of present without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own need. One of the government projects is Nation e-Payment to support SDG is goal number 9, which composed of 4 parts that are NEID, or we know is at prompt pay. The second one is the chip and pin. We change from magnetic card to smart card to drive our cashless society in this country.
Okay.
Yep. And the last one is E-Tec invoice that we are discussed today. Yeah. How E-Tec invoice and e-receipt will help revenue department because of in current market generate at the high volume transaction per day, especially in e-commerce market.
Yes.
E-commerce market you will see a lot of people right now. They are trash and they buy goods and service via the internet, right? And that is will generate a big problem to revenue department for they to collect the tax of this country.
It's a lot of transaction per day.
Yes. That means for now people need to change something to make it faster because we are competitive with the other country, right? And if revenue department want to manage the tax income of this country, they need to do something better than before by bring the technology to manage that. That's it.
Okay. So Thailand is moving to more of the sustainable economy as the goal set by the government. And
yes.
Can you explain what is E-Tec invoice and how is it different from a regular tax invoice?
Mm-hmm. This is 2 questions, right? For the first question is what is E-Tec invoice?
Yes.
I believe in this country a lot of questions about what is E-Tec invoice. Usually in the other country they call electric invoice, but only in Thailand we have some wording tax. We call electronic tax invoice.
Okay.
E-invoicing is an invoice that change from paper to digital structure format with the digital signature. Many countries they have their own standard, but all of that is relied to United Nations standard. In Thailand, we have Revenue Department and ETDA. They design our standard. They combine the machine readable and human readable in the same document. We give user the choice to handling invoice manual through the PDF A3. We call PDF standard is the PDF A3 to let a human can read it like a paper that we used to read. For the machine readable, we select to use XML format to send to revenue department for them to make it process some tax collection. Yeah. The combined machine and human readable data in the same document will give user the choice to handle invoice manually and through automatically. For human readable, they choose PDF A3 to standard invoice format, and it can guarantee that invoice will be displayed correctly in the long term. PDF A3 is not enough to process electronic manually, but that's why they select XML format to do that. That is what is the E-Tec invoice, and what is E-Tec invoice? The second question is what is different from regular tech invoice, right? Because it's moved head from paper to digital structure format.
Okay.
Yep.
So before this, when we do tech invoice, we wrote it or print it in paper, and then we give it to our customer. But
correct.
If it's an E-Tec invoice, so everything is digital and can send through smartphone.
Yep. Yes. Correct.
Okay, and the revenue department of Thailand, they also support the company to move from a regular tech invoice to a E-Tec invoice more, right?
Yes. Actually, we have a plan to go Thailand 4.0. You know, right?
Yes.
And the national e-payment project is the one of the project that we build the infrastructure for this country to move to digital country. Yeah.
Okay.
And
can you tell us what are the services that the Kinkosoft provide for the e-taxing invoice?
For the E-Tec invoice, before we talking about what we provide, we need to talk about what E-Tec invoice can help company firm.
Okay.
Actually, the first thing is the cost of operation, because when we do in the traditional way, you need to buy paper, you need to buy printer and ink. Yeah, you need to send it. When you send it, you need to buy envelope to pack it, and you need to have some messenger or your in-house messenger to send it to receiver. That's way that you use you lose fossil fuel, because right now even a motorcycle or car, they use fossil fuel.
Yes, and the petrol is really expensive now.
I want to show you a little my slide that show the cost for the whole process end to end when you use that old traditional invoice. This slide show the cost of paperwork. You will see we have a 4 lane it categorized the cost objective. The column 1 is create. When you create the invoice, you need to have paper, accessory, and some maintenance for your printer or your computer and electricity. The total of this cost average calculate by liabilities report about, I convert it to Thai baht already, about 7 Thai baht per transaction. And that transaction when you and that transaction you send the document to buyer, the average this is for envelope and transportation is 27 Thai baht per transaction.
Okay.
And after you get the paper back, you need to keep in safe place, follow to revenue department policy, right? You need to have a cabinet or room to keep that document. That one is we calculated about 300 Thai baht per month per envelope. Yeah.
Because we have to keep the transaction for how many years?
Uh, Before this 10 year, but right now revenue department they adjust to 5 year.
Okay, oh,
Yeah.
so stalling cost must be huge because it's a lot of transaction and a lot of paper accumulating together.
Yes, yes, and they have some hidden costs that we maybe never know. Like when your supplier call to ask some progress of the invoice, you will need to have time to find out uh, where is the document is and what is status, right?
Okay,
Um, that will take a lot of time, and below it they calculate the time uh, convert to money around 40 Thai baht per transaction. That means the total cost per each transaction is 74 Thai baht per transaction. You see,
that's a
but
lot of
if
money.
you
Yes.
but if you use E-Tec invoice is in second, you do everything in second without transportation to use the fossil fuel.
Okay, without
Yeah,
paper, without envelope, without
yep,
messenger.
yep, yeah. That's and when the last one is the when you store. When you store, if compare paper and electronic, we use some small storage. In small company, they can use the small storage to keep it for 5 years. I think with not more than 5,000 Thai baht for the 5 year. But in the
Okay,
paper, I don't know, some company they hire the office in Silom Road or Sathorn Road, maybe the higher cost will more higher than I think. Yeah.
okay, and it's clear that the larger the company, the bigger the cost is going to be because more transaction they're going to have.
Yes.
And so, what are the services that the Kinkosoft provide for E-Tech Invoice?
Yep. Kinkosoft, we are authorized service provider with the revenue department and follow to the revenue department annotation and policy. We just do our duty is just submit the or filing the electric invoice data to revenue department. But at Kinkosoft, we think more beyond that because we have services for end to end for this accounting process. Uh,
Okay,
we can bring every company to use E-Tec invoice in a short time because we design our platform robust and flexible to onboarding. Uh, right now we have a lot of backlog feature function because we are the first one in Thailand to do this business, and we got a lot of requirement from our customer that we justify, we prioritize which is the important to be used with our customer. Then our feature in the backlog right now we have to develop in 3 years already. That means
okay,
our roadmap is very long for 3 years. Then company firm that decide to use E-Tec Invoice, if use our service, they will have a lot of feature that can make it more easy more than they think.
okay. And let me ask you, if a company or a business decided to change from using paper tax invoice to
Mm.
e-tax invoice, what are the process that they must go through?
The process is I, I want to go back to the standard first because you need to know the standard first. The standards
Okay,
that we talking in the first question, right? Human disability PDF A3 and XML. Both of these need to do the digital sign. Why they use digital sign or we call digital signature? Because digital signature is confirm that the information that sent from signer is secure in cannot tamper during transit. That means
okay,
it is different from paperwork because if you use paper, someone maybe fake your document and try to be you by fraud your signature. But in digital signature, you cannot do something like that. Yeah, and
Okay.
that means you need to have digital signature, right? And how can you get the digital signature? You need to buy the electronic certificate from authorized CA.
Okay.
When you got the electronic certificate from CA, you need to keep it in safe place. In the standard, uh, they let you keep in some hardware we call hardware security module or HSM. After
Okay.
that, when everything and when your electronic certificate keep in place in safe place already, you need to do something at your ERP system or your accounting system to export it. When you export it, you can export it. You can make it to comply to standard of revenue department that take a lot of effort. But if you don't want to do that by yourself, you can use service provider because service provider can do everything that I said to instead of you.
Okay. So the first thing we need to get is the digital signature.
Yes, digital
Right?
signature first and implement to export data from your ERP and transform it to PDF and XML. After that, do the digital sign with the digital signature that you have.
Okay.
And please note, PDF used to send to buyer and XML used to send to revenue department.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now a lot of user may ask, can we use E-Tec invoice to submit for getting tax benefit?
Yes, of course. Getting right now, revenue department they have some campaign very interesting to exemption the tax. The government has encouraged the adoption of digital technology in business or industry to increase the potential and enhance competitiveness by giving income tax exemption right
Okay.
for juristic person who invest or use electronic invoice services. That means if you buy the license and implement at your site, you can use it to get the right from revenue tax right from revenue department. Uh, but if you just buy the service from service provider, you can use it to claim your tax also. Uh, that means with duty of inform of detail of investment and payment as attached in notification of the Director General of Revenue Department.
Okay.
Is notification number 406 and 410 is what put at Revenue Department website. You can get more detail from that two notification because it has a
Okay.
lot of detail. Yeah.
Okay. What about the submission method to the revenue department? Is E-Tec invoice submission a lot easier than a regular
Hmm?
one?
Yeah, it depends on the company requirement and company size because in Thailand we decide revenue department they decide many channel to receive the invoice information. Uh, Therefore, channel to submit e-check invoice to them that are one is web upload, number two is service provider, number three is host to host, and number four is e-check invoice by email. I want to explain about what is four channel is different. The
Okay.
first one web upload. This channel is to for company firm that they have a low volume of invoice per month. They can use revenue department website to upload the XML. But don't forget it. They need to generate the XML comply to the standard of revenue department, and they need to do some digital sign with themselves
Okay.
also. But they upload by themselves. They need to do everything by themselves. Number two, host to host. If your company have number of invoice more than 500,000 per month, You can use host-to-host by connect direct to revenue department, but you need to have internal IT team to implement the whole thing in-house.
Okay.
Number 3 is service provider. If you don't want to do number 2 by yourself, you have the other choice, that is service provider, and implement everything for you. Number 4 is E-Tec invoice by email. The E-Tec invoice by email is for SME who have revenue less than 30 million Thai baht per year.
Okay.
That's it. That's 4 channels.
For companies, they have their own options of how they want to do it, like you just explained. And
Yes.
right now, are there many countries around the world that using the E-Tec invoice system?
To answer this question, I need to share my slide again.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's
Can you see my
moving.
screen? Yeah. Yes. This is this map is from Beletis report last year.
Okay.
Beletis report, they do the survey for more than 2,000 companies around the world, and they got the information. They put the color in the world map. If you see, it have 4 different color. Red color
Yes.
is the leader. Red color is the leader. Look in the world map. You see, red color is Latin America and Scandinavia, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm surprised that Latin American, they are the leaders.
Yes. It have a story. I read this report in detail. Latin American, they be the leader because there is all the country that area, they do the first. They are the first one to implement this, and
Yes.
Mexico is the first country do
Okay.
this, and the government of Latin American country, they mandate. They do a mandatory law
Make it
to force,
compulsory.
to force B2G, B2B to have to use E-Tec invoice.
Okay.
But if you see color of Thailand, we are laggard right now.
We are in yellow. Oh no, we are in
Yeah,
actually white.
yellow, right? That is the laggard.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
I, actually, I got this report every year since from 3 years ago. You see Vietnam. Vietnam before this is the same
It's
setup
orange.
with us. Yes, but right now they orange because right now is issue the law, and they are mandatory for B2G and B2B also. They delay this bit. They plan for 2 years, and this month is the first month that they start. And I got the
Okay.
information from the news. They have more than 800,000 company registered with the tax authority already.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
Thailand, we are still. Yep.
But I have the other next slide
Yes.
from Milatit report also. They are grouping in this area, in each area, and the number that show in the screen is number of electronic invoice per year, but in billion. That means right now Latin America is the most active one, right? Around 24 billion invoice that generate in electronic format for
Okay. That
each
save
year.
them a lot of papers.
Yeah. In Thailand, you see, in Thailand, we have some information also. I think if you ask me about Thailand, I have to show it again.
Do we have more companies that interested to change to the E-Tec invoice system?
Yeah. I'm not sure they're interested or not because if you latest check in revenue department website, It have 1,500 company registered with Thai Revenue Department.
Okay.
It's very worrisome if compared to the other country because our growth
Okay.
rate is very low.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
we are still
And as I
becoming.
know from Revenue Department officer, right now they receive about 60 million transaction per month.
Okay.
That's it. Very low volume if compared to the other country. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you that why are some companies in Thailand still hesitated to change to use E-Tec Invoice despite all the
Uh,
benefits?
yeah. This from our experience, where we met a lot of customer in a last couple of years, there are some reasons such as number one, there is no understanding of technology, leading to the lack of confidence. Yeah.
Okay.
The second one is an initial investment for ERP customer with the high cost of implementation to export data and transform it to meet revenue department standard. They take high cost. Yeah. And number three, some tech avoidance company still doing what they think in the wrong way.
Okay.
And the last one, I call it old habit die hard, because people work and deal with paper for thousands of years.
Yes.
And the old people they think that how to change it because I'm familiar with this more than for the whole life.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
yeah,
I can see.
that is I think that is the obstacle in operation rollout right now. We need to help revenue department to publicize this good project to let them join to register with the Thai Revenue Department. Yeah.
Okay. So it's very interesting that you say that a lot of people because they get so used to using the old tax invoice with papers, so
Yeah.
they're afraid to try new things.
Yes, of course. Correct.
Yes. Okay. So thank you very much, Kun Chusak, for talking with us today. We could see that the E-Tec invoice is allow business owners and companies to deliver invoice quickly and more efficiently, and
Yeah.
also to reduce costs, and which is also good for the environment as well.
Yeah.
So
I would like to invite you all to join the E-Tech Invoice project with Thai Revenue Department so that we can change through the traditional business together. Beyond anything, we are doing climate action together to
yes,
pass through our green planet to next generation.
yes, I agree. And we hope
Yeah.
to see that the E-Tec invoice will become the standard way of invoicing in Thailand for a better digital economy and also for the environment for using less paper. So
Yeah.
thank you, Kun Chusak, for coming to our program and talking to us today. Thank you.
Thank you. สวัสดีครับ
ขอบคุณครับ สวัสดีครับ And that's all for Voice of the Nation today. Thank you for staying with us.